All right, Steve, I want to change gears a little bit here. Let's head to the Midwest. Colorado has a really thrilling victory last weekend over Baylor, and a lot of recruits took that in. What's been the pulse with Colorado recruiting lately? And we saw some movement today.
Yeah, the big news, four-star defensive back Antonio Branch Jr. decommitting from Penn State, flipping his commitment to Colorado. They also had four-star Byron Baldwin on campus, an on 300 recruit committed to Indiana. And then Carde Smith's a four-star offensive tackle, another on 300 recruit committed to USC. Those were the big fish on campus. They've already flipped one, pushing to flip two more. I like where they stand with Baldwin. I have Colorado predicted on the on 3 RPM to ultimately land Baldwin. And then Cardi Smith's going to take some time, but I hear they're going to get him back for an official visit when they host Cincinnati later in the season. But Dukes, what a weekend in Boulder, right? They beat Boulder, they rally down most of the evening, sometimes down by 2 scores. They rally. A Hail Mary sends it into overtime. Then they're resilient enough to get the win in OT against a well-coached Dave Aranda Baylor football team. The fans storm the field. You go into the locker room. These recruits go in the locker room. It's like a concert in there. The environment's awesome. They could see themselves having a lot of fun playing for this coaching staff, playing in that kind of environment. And then when you talk to recruits that visit Colorado, some of these kids from South Florida or the DMV, they just talk about the ambiance, the mountains, just the nature of it.
Right.
And it's so pretty out there. That was one of the things that Branch's mom Trina talked to me about, was just the feel that she got, the vibe that they got for being out there in that great city. But playing for Deion Sanders, who wouldn't want to play DB for Deion Sanders? These kids see an opportunity to play early. And that's the thing. When Colorado's recruiting a high school prospect, it's the same way they view the portal. They're viewing you to come in and help right away. They're not taking very many long-term players that need some time to develop. Cormani McLean actually needed time to develop. Dukes. He's 160 pounds soaking wet as a true freshman. It's hard to go play corner at the highest level of college football at 160 pounds when you get into college. So, but they don't take too many developmental prospects at Colorado right now. It's win now, win right away with the quarterback and Travis Hunter. They're only going to be there this season. So, but next year they're looking for high school guys to come in and make an instant impact as that roster turns over again. Antonio Branch is physically ready to go, physically ready to play on day one. Byron Baldwin would check that box, and so would Carde Smith on the offensive line. And I think people that spent time with those two feel good about Colorado's position. Both told me they had a great time. I got a better sense that I feel like Byron Baldwin's closer to being a Buffalo than Cardi Smith is right now. But we'll see how the process continues, and we'll see how Colorado continues to look on the field on Saturdays. But they're 3-1 right now, and they got some momentum.
In the 2 commits that you just named, what is Colorado getting? Well, actually, the 1 commit and 1 on the ropes with your prediction. What is Colorado getting in each?
Well, I think that they're getting versatile physical defensive backs that can do a lot of things. They can cover, they can erase mismatches with bigger wide receivers and cover in a variety of players. They can come up around the line of scrimmage and play against the run. The Baldwin kid is really a terrific talent, currently committed to Indiana, but firmly entrenched inside the on 300 rankings. He's a guy that we like a lot. He would be a coup for Colorado. And we know Deion Sanders is good for at least one big flip a cycle. That wouldn't have the same sex appeal, being that it's from Indiana. The Hoosiers are 4-0 right now. They got it dialed up with Kurt Signetti. But I wouldn't count that as the big flip. I would still say that he's probably got one in the bag that we're not even talking about right now.
If you're Deion Sanders, how are you selling that big win to a recruit that was at that game? What are you selling to a recruit in order to try to get their players to play for Colorado?
Well, I don't think he has to do much selling after a game like that. The crowd was fantastic. The atmosphere was awesome. The student section stormed the field. The mountains are the mountains, and his kids played hard. I've said this on other shows. The one thing about these Deion Sanders teams at Colorado, which it hasn't been long, I think we're at get through game 16. I feel like they've played hard in all 16 games. You talk about the USC game last year, they fought back in that one. This Baylor game here, they fought back, so they've had some really close wins, some games where they've had to be real clutch in the fourth quarter to get some of the wins that they've gotten. I think he's got 7 wins now. This was one of those weekends that kind of sells itself, right? And like they're trying to take it forward another step. How do you do it when you lose Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter? Travis Hunter's the best player in college football. He should win the Heisman Trophy. Shedeur Sanders is obviously one of the best quarterbacks in college football. They're not going to be on the team next year. So what's your plan to replace those two standouts? I mean, Travis Hunter's a generational player. I don't throw that around. I don't say that word every year. You know, he's special. He when he committed to Jackson State, when he was committed to Florida State, he was the best two-way player to come out of Georgia since Champ Bailey. That's how good Travis Hunter is. And he's lived up to it and more on the college level. He should win the Heisman Trophy. So they'll have to have a plan to replace those guys. It'll be interesting to see what direction they go at in quarterback. Obviously, they're trying to recruit Julian Lewis right now. I haven't heard as much about Colorado. That doesn't mean they're not in the thick of it right now. It'll be interesting to see if he makes it out for a game. He went out there 3 times this year, has had good dialogue with Coach Shermer, and they see it as an offense where quarterbacks can be real successful on the field. And certainly they see it as a place where they can be successful off the field with the NIL opportunities that the face of that program has been making. You know, Julian Lewis is already doing well in that arena, and certainly that'd be seamless at Colorado. But it'll be another big portal year for Colorado. And then I think at some point, and I would already have done it, and we've talked about this on your show before, but it's easy for me to say it. I'm not coaching on Saturdays, but I just think the high school recipe, and at some point he's going to have to dial into that, and he can recruit top 10 classes. I mean, I just think that it's, you know, the way that his charisma, there's just a lot of guys that would line up to play for Deion Sanders. He's not for everybody, but he's for a lot of those young men that are ranked high that would certainly love the opportunity to help him go out there and relate to that atmosphere and environment at Colorado and help build it up.
Man, Steve, awesome stuff, man. Where can we check out your latest show?
Look, man, I'm on the same channel as you. You got to hit like and subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel, because we got the 5-star flex with Phillip Dukes. We got the Wiltfong whip around on Mondays and Thursdays. We got the inside scoop on Sundays and Wednesdays with Josh Newberg. We're doing a new recruit reaction show on Saturdays after the biggest games, college football. We talked to Colorado after their big win against Baylor. We went late because it was Tennessee, Oklahoma. So you got the recruit reaction show. And then certainly I'm all over on3.com every day with the latest, and Alabama-Georgia game will certainly be one that I'm following closely from a recruiting standpoint this weekend. Tennessee coming off a big win against Oklahoma. They're looking to try and pick up some flips here at linebacker. Jaden Perlotti from the Peach State is someone that one, you know, he's committed to USC right now, former Georgia commit. I don't think that one's done. Lot going on every day. On3.com, all those shows, hit like and subscribe so you're up to date on the latest.
All right, man. Thank you so much, Steve.
Thanks for having me.